My husband used to be a warehouse manager. Because he was a big drinker, he caused a theft in the warehouse. He caused a huge financial loss to the company. Later, he was fired from his job. I loved him so much at that time that I didn't blame him, and I thought he would definitely change. At that time, we had been married for 3 years and had a child. Then we decided that I would go out to work and he would stay home with the kids. We lived like this for a year. He stopped drinking and everything seemed to be changing for the better. Until one day I came home from work. He was lying on the couch watching TV and the kids were napping down there. I asked him how his day had been and he said it was fine, so I went to check on the kids. I asked him why he hadn't cooked dinner yet and the laundry inside the house hadn't been done. He and I started arguing, and finally, he slapped me in the face. Later, this started to become more and more frequent. He started drinking again and the situation became worse and worse. Some people would ask why not just leave him. It's easier said than done. I just wanted my kids to have a complete home. I now regret very much that I did not leave him earlier. One day, I finished work early and was ready to go home early to be with my kids. I walked in the door and there were strange noises in the bedroom. I opened the door and saw him in bed with another woman. The woman freaked out, put on her clothes and ran out. My husband and I got into a heated argument. I took the pistol out of the safe and pointed it at his head. But I didn't have the courage to do so. He grabbed the gun out of my hand. Suddenly, I had a burning sensation in my chest. I fell to my knees in pain. He fired another shot at me, both times narrowly missing the fatal spot. My child was not so lucky as I watched him shoot my child. My breathing became weaker and weaker. He said to me, "We are all going to die today." He ended his own life. My consciousness began to blur as well. And I knew I would die today as well. After a while, I appeared in a tunnel. I could see other spirits hovering around me. I tried to communicate with them, but they didn't seem to understand what I was saying and just looked at me with curious eyes. I don't remember how long I was in the tunnel when I saw a man. He was wearing a long white robe and sandals on his feet. I knew it was Jesus because I felt a strong sense of love. As I tried to move closer to him, I saw that he was surrounded by people. I could feel the love he had for all of us. I felt I didn't deserve that love, so I was ready to leave. As I was walking away, I heard Jesus saying, "My daughter, where are you going?" I turned around and Jesus was right beside me. As we walked, Jesus told me many things. Explained why I was here. I realized I wasn't dreaming, I was dead. What about my children? I looked at Jesus and said. I could tell by the look on his face that the child was dead. Why did you give him to me and then take him away? I asked. This is the end he chose for himself, and you need to remember that Earth is not your final destination. You are not the first person to ask these questions, and you will not be the last. I asked him, what have I done wrong? Why should I be punished in this way? You are not being punished, my daughter. You may feel hard, but this is not a punishment. The child's soul is ready to go home. I still don't understand what is going on. My daughter, one day you will understand. So what happens next? For now your time is not up, you must go back to your life. I don't want to go back, I have lost everything. My daughter, you have also signed a contract with my father. Your mission is not yet complete. Well, I hope so, I want my child back with me. Jesus hugged me and whispered in my ear, you must go back. Don't worry, I will tell you what your future life will be like. As he said this, he touched my forehead with his index finger. I saw what the next 50 years would be like. As soon as he removed his finger, I went back into the black tunnel. My neighbor heard the shot and called for help. As soon as the ambulance arrived, the doctor went to work. I went back into my body through the top of my head. I woke up in the hospital and my doctor told me that it would take a long time for my body to recover. On the day I was about to be discharged from the hospital, I started talking to my doctor and told him everything that had happened. I told him that I had seen Jesus and that Jesus had shown me what was coming. My doctor didn't believe what I said. Jesus told me, I will meet my second husband in 5 years. I saw that we would have a child in the future. I received my body again and I was filled with gratitude. Grateful that I can stay here. Most of all thankful for Jesus. He gave me a new direction in life. Since then, everything has changed. Life around me is still going on in the same way. But I am not the same anymore. The fear of death has completely disappeared. I no longer fear pain or suffering.